Good afternoon and welcome to Gardens Oval in Darwin. This is round 5 of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League season, and what a cracker we've got here today. Tiwi versus Nightcliff, second place versus fifth on the ladder, but early stages of the season, and this should be a fantastic game. My name's Stu Davis. I'm joined by Chris Bucks, 3 times Nightcliff Premiership coach, Bucksy, and yeah, look on paper, it looks like a great game, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. Just some class players in both sides. Looking forward to seeing Marlon playing for Tiwi to see what he keeps producing. Also Brody Folio on the other teams had a good start of the season as well. So yeah, it'll be a great game.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, Tiwi big improvers in the early stages of this season. It struggled over the last couple of years. Just had some competitive performances last season, but really starting to hit their straps with 3 wins and a loss so far in the season. And yeah, they've had good wins against Pint and Darwin Buffaloes and Wanderers, and just went down in a close one to Southern Districts here at Gardens Oval a couple of weeks ago. So their form line's good, and Nightcliff, of course, lost the opening game against St Mary's, but have won a couple since then before they had the bye last week. So toss of a coin this one, but should be exciting footy to watch as we're in the centre of the ground, and the 2 big fellas, Broadbent got his hand to the ball for Tiwi as the ball spills forward and now comes out to Pickett, tries to break free, does break free now, running through the centre of the ground, delivers inside forward 50 beautifully, and hits his target there in Malachi Wally, who's a player that I really don't know much about, but positioned himself nicely there, and Pickett delivered beautifully.
Just a class of Pickett then, just had to hit that.
Yeah, just a fend off and then steadied and hit the target, but Wally from directly in front, about 40 out, kick on the way, and goal umpire making a bit of ground, but it looks like it swung back late and might have just snuck through. It has. So early in this first quarter, inside the first couple of minutes, Malachi Wally gets himself on the board, and a great start for Tiwi.
Be interesting whether Nightcliff tag Marlon or try and play a bit of a defensive role with him, or they'll just go see what happens. I'm sure they'll have a plan for him.
Yeah, well, that's right, and a really important player, of course, Rinaldi back in the side this week, Chris, and has performed that role a number of times in the past, so it'll be interesting to see how they line up. But not at this stage of the game. He's got Jonathan Lanyon with him, side by side with him at the moment, as from that hit out, ball's just wrapped up, and we'll start again in the centre circles. By Jacob Port throws the ball in the air as Philo trying to burst through. The ball spills clear now. It's that hand pass backwards, missed the target, and gives Nightcliff the opportunity. Kennedy tries to get the hand pass out wide to Scott, but was just behind him and found its way over the boundary line for a throw in. Just forward of centre for Nightcliff, kicking to the city end of the ground in this first quarter. So we saw that that was the scoring end in the previous game for no apparent reason, but Brady Philo won the toss and had no hesitation kicking that way. So as Tiwi break again out of the middle of the ground, but a bit of congestion in there, and the ball's wrapped up, and we'll have a ball up right in the middle of Gardens Oval once again. So Broadbent got it down to Michael Thompson, who's caught with the ball, and it'll be a Nightcliff free kick going to Lanyon. Jonathan Lanyon chips short towards the outer side of the ground and finds Edwards. Edwards swings around on the left boot. He's got a player out wide, and now the long kick into the goal square. A one-on-one contest. It's punched away. Tiwi with numbers back, looking to work it out, but that's a strong tackle at ground level, and it'll be a ball up again.
Boyo Paris on Anthony Mankara. Be a good contest.
So ball loose and cleared out of defence by Thompson. It's a high one towards the half-back area for Tiwi, close to the boundary line. Ball getting flicked around as Twycross gets a chip inside forward 50, punched away from behind by Munkara as the ball at ground level, and it's wrapped in underneath, but it's going to be a Tiwi free kick going the way of Braden McLean. McLean looking to the outer side of the ground, a bit unsure. Chips a pass in the end. It's a pretty good one out in front over the shoulder. Scott Bedford is the recipient of the free kick. He kicks around the outer wing, and running onto it there for Tiwi was Marotta, who kicks inside forward 50. The ball gets over the back, and strength again by Wally there. Got the ball up, but just a bit of a scramble in the Tiwi forward 50 at the moment as the ball's caught in underneath, and it's going to be a Tiwi free kick with Politis is deemed to have dived on the ball and held it in underneath, so it's a chance for Tiwi, and looks like it's going to be Marlon Pickett who's won the free kick, and he'll have the set shot at goal from a bit closer in from where Wally scored the opening goal for Tiwi.
Nightcliff had numbers, but Tiwi kept it in there. The pressure around the ball.
Pickett's kick on the way, no problem there whatsoever, straight through the middle, so a hot start for Tiwi. The first couple of goals in the game in the first 5.5 minutes at Gardens Oval here, and just the start that they would have been looking for. Of course, this game was programmed to be over on the Tiwi Islands, but unfortunately for the Tiwi people, it had to be moved here, and Tiwi, not strangers to playing at Gardens Oval. They played the occasional home game here, but it's the second option for them. So Jack Monagatti back in Tiwi colours today, goes into the ruck for the first time in the season. He gets his hand to the ball, but kicked off the ground by Bailey, forces it forward. Houghty Rock runs onto it on the outer side of the ground. A bit of a loose hand pass puts Edwards under some pressure. It comes back to Rock, who with quick hands gets Nightcliff moving forward. Eventually they work it out through the hands, and Philo just throws it on the boot, kicking it forward. Well read in front, and the mark claimed and paid to Kurt Dunn.
Just Nightcliff just bombing it forward. Tiwi putting pressure on him.
Yeah, Tiwi pretty well set up behind him. There's a 50-metre penalty here, so yeah, that'll march Kurt Dunn down forward of centre and give Tiwi the chance to launch another attacking move. As the Nightcliff players slow getting onto the mark, and Dunn just ran straight over and kicked inside forward 50 off hands. The ball slips to the back. There's a snapshot for goal, but just missed. Just missed to the near side and through for behind. But gee, they moved the ball quickly then.
Very well, Tiwi, and they hit their targets. This Nightcliff really got to slow it down and control the ball.
So Sean Hunter bringing the ball in for Nightcliff. He goes short and just almost overcooked it, but Politis reached up and took the mark in the back pocket. Just not much on offer at the moment, so he's going to have to bomb it long down the line here in front of the grandstand. Marley McGregor in the marking contest couldn't hold it, but the ball spills out, and a beautiful pass going forward from Thaddeus Port Jimmy. And Tiwi into attack again. The ball gets over the top. The mark's been claimed.
In the middle of four Nightcliff players.
Just lobbed over the top. It was Wally that kicked it in, and look, might be Brendan Cantilla that's worked down there and just got on the end of it. And it is in fact so. The Tiwi captain, Brendan Cantilla, has a set shot for a goal from 20 metres out directly in front, and Tiwi well on top in the early stages of this game. Kick on the way, not much problem there from 20 out, directly through, and Tiwi running hot with the first 3 goals of the game.
You'd be disappointed with that Nightcliff uncontested mark by a little fellow when there's 4 guys, defenders standing around. Just a bit of communication there from Nightcliff.
Yeah, that's right, and yeah, they've ventured forward a couple of times, but really haven't threatened to score, and didn't help themselves with the 50-metre penalty coming out of defence that time. So back in the middle of the ground, and Tiwi 19 points to 0 at the 9-minute mark of the first quarter. Monaghetti again gets his hand to the ball, down to Thompson. Thompson got it out, but again, plenty of pressure on the ball at ground level as the big fella Paik gets his hand to the ball this time. Monaghetti gets his hands on it, tries to crash through, gets the hand pass over the top, picked up by Thompson. His hand pass went behind Pickett. Pickett just fumbled a bit, but cleverly got it back to Thompson, who hand passed to Monaghetti. Monaghetti with a floating hand pass over the top, and Lanyon comes in and just gets a hand to it and forces it over the boundary line for a stoppage on the centre wing.
Nightcliff's Adrian Scott, number 7's had a good start to the season. One of their local juniors. Blood rule for someone. Jonathan Lanyon. I think that's Jack Norman coming on for Nightcliff.
Yeah, his first game for the season. It's a boundary throwing. Paik almost had the jumper pulled there. I think the umpire's seen that, and it's going to go his way. In fact, it's going to free kick off the ball. No, it's coming back to him.
Yep.
It looked like he was complaining that he didn't get the free kick, but he has got it, and he's been pretty impressive in the first few games of the season. Big Paik, as he kicks long down towards half forward, or a leaping attempt by Sing Lippo, just couldn't quite hold the mark. The ball still free at ground level, as plenty of pressure on as the ball gets. Nightcliff trying to force it out, but eventually Tiwi calmly get the clearing kick off. That's an amazing mark as Marotta tried to punch it away and then got it on the third grab, and he kicks inside forward 50 now. Rinaldi working back with Wally claiming that that should be a deliberate free kick, but umpire's not seeing it that way, and it'll be a boundary throw in inside forward 50 for Tiwi.
Rinaldi coming off a season with Ballarat. Yeah, would have played in some fresh weather down there.
Absolutely. A bit different to what he's seeing here today, as from the boundary throw in, Big Paik cleverly gets it to Philo. Philo's kick only travelled about 10 metres or so and got punched back to where he kicked it from, as again the ball wrapped up in close, and Big Marotta to go up against Paik in the ruck here. Paik gets himself in front and gets his hand to the ball at ground level though. It's Tiwi with first hands on the ball. The dribble kick comes forward and goes over the boundary line about 10 metres around from the right hand behind post at Tiwi's scoring end of the ground. Paik in front, takes it out of the air this time, but I think he's won himself a free kick for some high contact in that ruck contest, so the ball will come back to him. Alexander Paik, of course, came across from Palmerston from last season, and has been pretty important for them in the first few games that they've played this year, as he chips it out wide and finds Boyd Bailey out at half back. Bailey again going long down the line, so the ball spills forward. Pickett at ground level, hand passes forward. The sweeping hand pass comes back to Hams. Hams centres to Kim Cantilla. Kim Cantilla short, finds Francis Tippingwoody. Tippingwoody chips the ball inside forward 50, but Nightcliff got numbers working back. Bailey tidies up, gets the hand pass to Paik, who wasn't really expecting it, got tackled with the ball, and now Nightcliff scrambling in defence trying to work it out. They do eventually. Edwards gets it out wide, and the chance here is the ball's cleared by Buchner, and he finds Philo at half back, who just indicates to settle things down, but his kick's given a bit of air, but he's well directed, and Dirksen takes that mark, plays on quickly around the grandstand side. Oh, interestingly punched forward there, as running onto it again was Hunter, but Harms worked back for Tiwi, got the hand pass over the top, but got dealt with after he got rid of the ball. So I think it'll be a downfield free kick. And I think the player that was supposed to get it has gone off interchanged off the ground. So It's going to come back here to Thaddeus Port Jimmy, who will kick it to Harms anyway into the back pocket, and Harms chips across to the outer side of the ground and gives Tiwi the chance to build from the back half. That's not the best directed kick though, and it's chopped off inside forward 50 by Bugner for Nightcliff. He plays on now, wobbles a kick forward, and Harms claiming that he touched it, I think, but he didn't really, and now he's just getting the message to his teammates that he wanted to go longer, but Nightcliff get a much needed goal. It wasn't the best looking kick, Chris, but a valuable goal anyway.
Very valuable goal, but yeah, being Tiwi, Paddy Bowden wouldn't be happy with coming inboard to the hot spot. Yeah, and turning over the kick. Should have kept going down the line.
Yeah, that's right. Give the runners a chance to run, but anyway, an answering goal from Nightcliff, one that they've been looking for as the clock ticks over 15 minutes in the first quarter. And
Kyle Fitzgerald's gone into the ruck, a Tongala boy.
Yeah, he's been impressive in the first few weeks as well, playing mainly in defence. Like the work that he's done back there, but need for him in the ruck obviously is just to give Paik a chop out, and now he's scrambling for the ball at ground level, but it's McLean who clears for Tiwi out towards the boundary in front of the grandstand, and that bounces and rolls out, so it'll be a boundary throw in just forward of centre for Tiwi. 19 points to 6 as we approach 16 minutes in the first quarter at Gardens Oval here in Darwin, as Fitzgerald in front and Philo at ground level cleverly gets a hand pass over the top to Dirksen. Dirksen kicks inboard towards centre half forward, the ball scrambling at ground level. Buchner working back there again, tries to get it out to the advantage of Kennedy. Kennedy picks up now, swings around on the right boot, chips in towards the top of the goal square. It gets over the top. Carlson Cantilla back there, thought he'd taken the mark, now wobbles a kick out, but it's good enough to find Marlon Pickett at half back. Pickett back into the corridor where he's got a spare player, but the mark's spilt, and that causes the turnover as Philo gets a hand pass over the top, looking for Lanyon, just went over his head, and Tiwi again just tidy up at the back with McLean back to Pickett. Pickett drives it to the outer side of the ground. It's bouncing in space out in front there and bounces over the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary throw-in as the ball goes over the fence.
Interesting there. It might be part of their game plan. Both times coming out of backline, Tiwi have looked inboard to the corridor.
Which is fine if you've got a spare player and you hit the target.
If you hit the target, that's right.
So, Monagatti and Fitzgerald, no one really takes advantage of that. Tiwi running away now, comes into the hands of Port Jimmy. Port Jimmy kicks long towards goal, it's going right to the goal line, but just offline as Trent Marotta attempted to take that mark. I think he was over the line anyway and threw for a behind, and now Nightcliff, kick finds Paris in the end. It was all a little bit loose, but they've got away with it, and Paris chips in short to Politis in the back pocket. Rinaldi telling Politis that his option is to go long, and that's what he does along the wing. Ball slips over the back and picked up by McLean down there, but he's worried over the boundary line by Jack Norman, and it'll be a boundary throw-in. So from the throw-in, Fitzgerald in front, got it down. Pickett hands on the ball, hand passes forward, it spills into the hands of Bedford. Bedford kicks long down towards the marking contest just out of the goal square. It's picked up down here by Brendan Cantilla on the left boot, and he's celebrating as the ball sails through the air. Didn't look to be too much on it, but had enough on it to get it over the pack of players and over the goal line, and Tiwi's fourth goal on the board and the second to Cantilla.
Just what they needed. Done the right thing, kicked to the tall and made a contest, but too quick on the ground. Just really got to be defensive like Cliff Smalls. Yeah, when it hits the ground.
Tiwi Bombers looking really dangerous in this first quarter, hitting the scoreboard, 4-1 as we get close to time on in this first quarter, and yeah, they've got some interesting inclusions this year. They've just given them a bit of poise and a bit of balance to go with the outside run that we know that they have, and the skills that they have. So a pretty impressive lineup so far. As Tiwi again out of the centre, this time to Thompson. He's off and running, has a bounce, hand passes inboard to Munkara, back to Thompson. He's in a bit of trouble. He tries to find a teammate with a hand pass, misses the target. Nightcliff scrambling back as the ball spills out again. Munkara in there again for Tiwi. Couldn't control the ball. Norman at ground level couldn't take it cleanly, picked up by Munkara, tried to squirt it off the outside of the boot, but he's flushed it straight over the boundary line on the full, so some relief for Nightcliff back there.
See, Zach Dirkson's running with Marlon Motlop, sorry, Pickett. Interesting matchup.
So Pilatus chips across the face of goal and finds Hunter. Hunter looking to switch back again to the near side of the ground, and he finds Dirksen at half-back. Dirksen goes inboard now, and well marked by Boyd Bailey at half-back. Just chipping in and out here as they work their way down the ground, but that one's gone too wide, and over the boundary line before Edwards could get his hands to the ball, and the ball comes back to Bedford for Tiwi, who chips in short to McLean. McLean looking to create something from just forward of centre, kicks long to the goal square, punched away again at ground level. Nightcliff under all sorts of pressure here as the ball spills out, and it's going to be another Tiwi goal here, and just fell into the hands there of John Tipalura as the Nightcliff players were trying to scramble and get it out of defence, but once the ball hits the ground in that forward half, you almost sense that they're panicking and trying to get the ball out.
Yeah, definitely panicking. Yeah, just got to get some composure down there. But once again, it was Pickett, handball to McLean.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, very level-headed guys and great ball users, which McLean's been a great asset to Tiwi with his leadership and use of the ball across half-back.
Yeah, that's right. Just really setting things up for them going forward, and delivery forward is good. And wow, what a start from Tiwi with 5 goals on the board in this first quarter, and Nightcliff scratching their heads about what to do in response. As again, they're getting their hands on the ball in the middle. The hand pass comes out to Pickett. He's caught with the ball this time. Eventually gets a hand pass out, and now the kick comes back inboard, and Broadbent takes the mark in the centre of the ground. He's got a spare player at half forward. He chips it that way, and that's Scott Bedford who takes that mark at centre half forward. Has a lead on offer, kicks forward to Big Bedford, who kept running, got a bit of front-on contact in the marking contest, and the free kick's been paid, and so not much going right for Nightcliff at the moment, as Bedford will go back and you would think have a set shot for goal from about 35 out.
Yes, as a coach, you'll be thinking, try and just slow it down. For obviously nearly in red time. Well, we are in red time. Always hurts you as a coach when the opposition team kicks a goal in red time.
So Broadbent with the shot for goal, kicks long, it's going across the face, it's fallen just short. It might have gone through for a behind, but ball, Nightcliff taking the ball away round the outer side of the ground.
Calling it back, I think.
Yeah, it looked like the boundary umpire was trying to signal to the goal umpire that it had gone over the line, and so ball going back now, and the behind has been registered, so it'll be Philo to bring the ball in for Nightcliff. Certainly not in much of a hurry as he steps back into the goal square and now runs off and kicks long to the grandstand side. Big Vile gets his hands on the ball and takes that mark, and he's again just missed with the delivery of the kick, and it's chopped off and turned over. William Munkara this time kicks it out wide to Brendan Cantilla in that left forward pocket, or just out from the pocket towards the flank, and he takes the mark about 5 metres in from the boundary line and about 30 metres from goal. So Brendan Cantilla already has 2 goals on the board in this game. We're used to seeing him run through the middle, but spending a bit of time up forward so far today. as the kick's on the way. It looks pretty good. It's swinging back nicely, and that's another magnificent finish from Brendan Cantilla. Big grin on his face. 3 goals on the board in the first quarter, and what a performance from the Tiwi captain so far.
Yes, and Paddy Bowden will be happy with that. As a coach, you want to start well, and they've definitely started well. And they've hurt Nightcliff on their turnovers, so Nightcliff have just got to get their skills, hit their targets and hold possession, which they're finding hard to do at this stage. Credit to Tiwi.
Yeah, that's right. And, I think you said before, just need to get a bit of composure about their game, get their hands on the ball and control the ball a bit. And, but it's Tiwi getting their hands on the ball in the centre, which is really setting them up, getting the ball forward from these centre bounces as we're back in the middle of the ground. Pate gets his hand to the ball for Nightcliff, but they just can't get it on it in the ground level this time. Lanyon does, gets it over the top to Scott. Scott goes long, straight down the middle of the ground again. Just really bombing the ball forward, not really having a leading option. Or from the rush behind, the quick kick was taken quickly and missed the target. That's a good tackle out there. And it's going to be rewarded as Tiwi had all the numbers there, but the young fella, Houghty Rock, just applied the forward pressure, laid the tackle and won himself the free kick.
Nightcliff Jr., his dad coaches the Women's Premier League. He's had a good start.
So Rock will be kicking from outside the boundary here. Kicks on the way, looks pretty good. It's going right to the goal line. I think it's going all the way through. It is, and that's a much needed goal from Nightcliff, and that's terrific. We talked about a bit of composure, and Rock certainly had that. He laid the tackle, got rewarded with the free kick, and the distance and the angle didn't faze him at all, and finished beautifully.
That's good to see a young junior like that. It's still eligible for 18s with composure. And, yeah, to kick a goal like that as well.
So, Nightcliff hit back, and the pattern continues. Tiwi scored the first 3 goals before Nightcliff got one. Then Tiwi got the next 3, and Nightcliff have hit back with one. But they'd be hoping that they can start to string some goals together and make some inroads into this pretty healthy margin that Tiwi have got in the late stages of the first quarter. So Pake and Broadbent to do battle again. That's the bounce advantage Pake really, but again at ground level, Nightcliff struggling to get their hands on the ball as it's toe poked out. Harms comes in, he got tackled without the ball, and he'll receive the free kick just backward of centre for Tiwi. He's got a runner on the outside in McLean, and he uses him out to the outer wing. McLean chips in short and finds Port Jimmy just forward of the wing on the outer side of the ground. Thaddeus Port Jimmy looking at his options now. Decides to go long, but the siren sounded to end the first quarter, and one which really you would think the Tiwi coaching staff would be pretty happy with, putting on 6 goals in the opening quarter and restricting Nightcliff to just 2, Chris.
Yeah, Paddy Bowden will be really happy. Nightcliff will be happy the siren's gone, so they can just reset and start again next quarter and hopefully try and win that quarter.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they scored the last goal of the quarter, so that's a positive to take into quarter time, but they've got some work to do in the quarter time break and coming into the second quarter. We'll be back with that second quarter shortly.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to Gardens Oval in Darwin. It's quarter time in this round 5 clash between the Tiwi Bombers and the Nightcliff Tigers, and Tiwi, with all the running in the first quarter, see themselves with a 26-point advantage at quarter time, and they've been pretty well set up behind the ball, but really they've been getting their hands on the ball in the middle of the ground, Chris, and you would think that that's normally a Nightcliff strength with their midfield at ground level brigade, but Tiwi have been able to get first use out of the centre.
Be interesting, Nightcliff, if I was Nightcliff, you'd go, man-on-man defensive for the first ball up and try and win the ball that way. They are taking Marlon Pickett. Lewis has gone to him.
All right. Yeah, so it was certainly damaging in the first quarter in helping set up the play. We're underway now. Monagatti comes running in, but this one's going to be recalled as it floated outside of the centre circles. So it'll be a throw up in the middle of the ground. Interesting that that the big fella Pake is not doing the ruck work to start this second quarter. And Monagatti reaches over the top, gets it down, but at ground level it's picked up by Lanyon. He got it to Philo by hands, and now Nightcliff working it backwards to go forwards. The kick comes down. Houghty Rock loses his opponent, but McLean recovered well enough to get a fist to the ball, and Kim Cantilla through the middle of the ground just chips it out wide to the advantage there of Port Jimmy. His hand pass missed the target and put Tiwi under some pressure, and now the ball is stuck in underneath as Bedford stands up with the ball to give it back to the umpire. Just wasn't able to work it out, and it'll be a ball up again just forward of centre for Tiwi as Marley McGregor is doing the ruck work for Nightcliff. The ball slips forward, and now a kick again from Tiwi going forward to a one-on-one contest in the goal square. Swooping on down here is Brendan Cantilla, hooks over the shoulder. Don't tell me he's got another miracle goal. He has, from deep in the pocket on the wrong side. That was just another incredible goal. He's got 4 on the board, would you believe, in the within 2 minutes of the second quarter.
Yeah, perfect positioning, front and centre, followed the ball, contest. But yeah, on a slight angle over his head. It'd be a great goal.
It just took no time getting the ball from hand to boot, and there was no way the defence could do anything about it. It was incredible. We saw him kick an amazing set shot goal from near the boundary in the first quarter, and a couple of really impressive snaps. He's got, as I said, he's got 4 goals on the board early in this second quarter. He's having a day out so far, and I don't know who the matchup could be for him up forward there. But
not sure with Lewis going to Marlon.
Monagatti wins that hit out again, back to Pickett. He's caught in the tackle. Lanyon getting busy in the middle of the ground, got it by hand to Philo. His kick squirted forward as he was tackled, but Silky Skills sees Thompson get the hand pass back to Monagatti. Monagatti kicks long down towards half forward. The ball bouncing as Fitzgerald back there under some pressure gets a kick out, the hand pass out to Politis, but slipped to Brendan Cantilla again. He kicks towards goal, but Vile this time punches it away and then follows up himself, drives the ball out of defence, and that's a good kick over the top, finding Scott in some space at centre wing. Scott now chips in short out wide and finds Kennedy, who's worked his way up from the forward line to take the mark on the outer wing, but obviously not much to go to as he kicks down towards half forward now. Off hands, it falls to Rock. Rock runs around his opponents, kicks long towards goal. It's going right to the goal line. He's kicked another one for Nightcliff. The young fella, Houghty Rock, is showing them the way as he just took control there. He backed himself to get away from his opponents, kicked long from just inside 50 and got it over the players in the goal square and through for another goal.
Definitely trying to lift his side, so yeah, he's a beautiful kick of the footy as you just seen, and yeah, he knows where the goals are and he accelerates using his pace. Yeah, Nightcliff around the stoppage, you really got to tighten up around that. That's where they're getting beaten.
Yeah, just back to Houghty Rock. Just terrific confidence, wasn't it, from the young fella, just to take it on, and that's what Nightcliff need, a couple of players to take it on and back themselves, and he did that and finished beautifully with, again, between him and Brendan Cantilla, kicking him from everywhere as we're back in the middle of the ground, and McGregor again doing the ruck work for Nightcliff. Ball spills out. Scott punches it forward. The bounce of the ball doesn't favour Nightcliff as Pickett comes in. He's tackled to the ground by Lanyon, and it'll be a ball up.
Marley McGregor's first game back for a few years, been over Queensland way, premiership player when he was 17 with Nightcliff.
So from that ball up, again it's stuck in underneath as eventually Rinaldi gets the hand pass out, and the quick kick forward by Kennedy was chopped off, and Tiwi trying to run it away now as Tipalura swings onto his right boot, kicks down towards half forward, off hands. The pack went flying forward as keeping his feet was Wally, who got the hand pass out the back. The long kick towards goal from Blake Purantatamiri, but he's just offline to the left. But yeah, they look dangerous going forward every time.
Yeah, Nightcliff have got to try and block their run. Don't give them that run, which is hard to do with Tiwi.
Sean Hunter brings the ball back into play, kicks long to the outer side of the ground. Ball's over the back. McGregor's found some space, gets the hand pass on the outside, and now a long ball inside forward 50. Big Pake down there has a couple of players to contend with. It's punched away, or two at ground level. The ball spills to Pake now, gets the hand pass back inboard to Boyd. Boyd on the left boot, kicks towards goal, but just misses to the left-hand side and through for a behind. So looking a bit more promising for Nightcliff. They're getting the ball into the forward half a bit quicker and giving themselves a chance. But it's McLean who'll bring the ball back into play. Stabs a pass towards Pickett at half back. He couldn't get to it before it bounced, but he's worked hard at ground level to force it out again, trying to get it to the advantage of Kim Cantilla, but the ball beats him over the boundary line and will be thrown back in. So the ball at half forward for Nightcliff in this second quarter. McGregor takes it out of the ruck contest, kicks forward and finds the hot spot. Taking it was Bailey. Swung around. I don't know if he was called to play on, but it was the right decision in the end anyway, because he swung around on the left boot and banged it straight through the middle for Nightcliff, and that's two in a row, something that they haven't been able to achieve so far in the game, and something that they will be looking for a bit more of, but a good finish by Boyd Bailey.
Yeah, very good lead, but from the contest, lowered their eyes. The last couple, they just bombed in, lowered their eyes, hit their target, so that's what they need to do.
It was good by McGregor, wasn't it? Took it out of the ruck contest and had a look and delivered beautifully. He's just given them a bit of spark around the middle there going into the ruck at the start of this second quarter.
Definitely what they needed.
So McGregor and Broadbent to do battle. The taller Broadbent got his hands to the ball. Thompson at ground level fished out the hand pass, and now Tiwi going forward again. Poor Jimmy kicks long down, straight down the middle of the ground. The ball spills to the front of the pack where Politis gets his hands on it and just clearing kick out towards the outer side, finds Rock. Rock has a runner on the outside, and the kick forward is marked by Cody Nyhouse on the outer wing. Nyhouse just settles things down a bit now and eventually decides to chip in short. The kick's good on McGregor, just a bit casual on that one, spilt the mark, and that allowed the Tiwi players to pounce on it as Thompson gets a hand pass backwards there to Tipungwuti, and the ball's gone out of bounds. It's going to be a Nightcliff free kick out there. Boyd Bailey, the last goal scorer, will take the free kick. He runs around and plays on now, kicks long inside forward 50, but that's not that well directed, and the mark's been paid at ground level to Hams and doesn't like some of the treatment he's getting, so there's a bit of push and shove here. It's not really necessary, as Hams will now go back and take his free kick. Chips out wide, and poor Jimmy takes that mark out there. Just working it backwards to Hams again. Back in the back pocket for Tiwi. He's looking for the longer option this time, goes long down the line to the outer side, but it's all Tiwi there. Something's happened behind the play, which has resulted in a free kick down the field, and it'll be Pickett to take that free kick for Tiwi. He kicks long down towards half forward again. The ball at ground level spills over the back. Blake Puruntarameri just tries to paddle it forward as the ball's caught up, and Nightcliff now working it out of defence. Rock takes the mark, plays on, gets the hand pass inboard to Politis. Politis chips in short to Kennedy. Kennedy moves it on quickly, and now Nightcliff's chance to build inside forward 50. Out on the long lead, the mark's taken by Zach Dirksen. Dirksen's got a free player in the goal square, and that's Sing Lippo, I think. And Dirksen moved it quickly, and Sing Lippo out in space without anyone within 10 metres of him, and the kick was good, and he'll have a set shot from just about 10 metres out.
The last couple of rebounds, Nightcliff moved the ball really well, sort of settled down, hitting their targets, running for each other.
So Tristan Sing Lippo hits the scoreboard, and that's 3 in a row to Nightcliff, and so they really look to have settled and worked out their game plan, and as Chris said, they're starting to move the ball nicely and a bit more quickly. They were a pretty stop-start early on, and they've narrowed that margin back to 14 points.
And Zach Dirksen there to look inboard and see not just snap it or have a shot himself. Sharing the ball around created the goal.
Yeah, we see Houghty Rock in the foreground. He's been really important and getting involved at both ends of the ground and out on the wing. So
definitely lifted him.
Yep. So a change in the middle as the big fella Pake comes in to do battle with Monagatti back in the middle of the ground. Monagatti finds his hand on the ball, but Boyd clears for Nightcliff, well read by Hams, coming off of half back, got it on the bounce and delivered out to Monagatti. He's taken the mark and tried to play on.
Don't think
just wasn't aware, I don't think, and Edwards takes the free kick, moves it quickly to the outer side of the ground where Kennedy's taken the mark. He's looking to move it on quickly as well, chips down towards half forward, and the mark taken out there by Nyhouse. Nyhouse moves the ball in now towards half forward, but well positioned again behind the play was Hams, and the mark's been taken, and also I think a 50-metre penalty by the looks of this. So yeah, Nightcliff had moved the ball quickly again, but just the delivery wasn't the best. And
his report, no.
Maybe. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So just McLean has the ball, chips it out wide, and he finds Carlson Cantilla, who's run up from defence, and now Cantilla driving the ball long down towards half forward. No mark taken as Nightcliff get their hands on the ball, but couldn't find a teammate. Tiwi running through now, trying to break through the pack. The hand pass comes forward. It's at ground level. It's a scramble for the ball on the ground. No one really able to take any clear possession there. There's a free kick been found, and I think it's going to go Tiwi's way here. And it's going to go to William Munkara on the outer side of the ground. Not really sure what that free kick was for. It was
a bit scrappy and pretty intense. Yeah,
players, wasn't it?
Yeah. Easy to do, just a high contact or something.
Yep.
A tackle or a bump. Tiwi need this one. Break away a little bit.
William Munkara just off a step. Kicks towards goal. I think it's pretty good. The goal umpire hasn't moved too much, so they get one back. That's a good finish from the free kick, and William Munkara gets himself on the scoreboard as Tiwi just stretch that margin back out to 20 points at the 13.5-minute mark of the second quarter.
It's always hard coaching against Tiwi. You always push them to the boundary, but they're the team that can kick them from anywhere. So you try and defend them deep into their pockets, but yeah, they're very good, skillful side.
Yeah, and of course, here at the smaller Gardens Oval, the pockets aren't that deep, and yeah, it's a ground that basically suits their style of play, I think, too. They get the ball going quickly. So Jackson Broadbent back into the ruck for Tiwi up against Pake. Broadbent up early, then gets his hands to the ball, and Tiwi again first to the ball with Thompson's kick forward, finds Munkara. Munkara wheels around and delivers inside forward 50. Working back with the flight of the ball was Caleb Walker, got a hand to it, and now a clearing kick to the outer side of the ground, but Tiwi with the numbers out there, and the mark's taken by Bedford over the top. He plays on now, swings inboard and kicks long down towards the goal square. Pushing from behind was Malachi Wally, and Tiwi have kicked a goal here, but I think it's going to be a Nightcliff free kick for that pushing action from Wally, and it'll go to Ben Vile in the defensive goal square. Vile elects to go short, straight up the middle of the ground to Paris. Paris has got another short option, and he takes that to Kyle Fitzgerald at half back for Nightcliff. Fitzgerald short again to Lanyon. So just chipping around here. Daniel making space, but Lanyon decides to go inboard instead. Back to Vile. And out to Politis, who's got a runner in the middle of the ground in Fitzgerald. So they've had plenty of possessions in the back half here, and not going forward much as Fitzgerald eventually goes longer to the wing. That's well directed to Pake, who found some space, and he delivers nicely forward. And now running over the top is the chance for Boyd, delivers inside forward 50, and his pass is a beauty and finds Zach Dirksen on the chest, and it was a patient build-up, Chris, but they maintained possession and in the end got the result that they were looking for.
Yeah, you can obviously tell the coaches sent the message out to hold possession and just a bit of composure, and it actually worked for him to create space.
So just need Dirksen to finish for them now. He'll be kicking from just inside the 50 line.
I was chatting to Dirksen, it'll be if he kicks it, his first goal for the season.
Kicks on the way, looks pretty good. He's got the distance and straight through the middle, so it looks like he's almost playing out of the goal square, Chris, and giving them a target up forward, particularly in the second quarter, and he's looked likely, hasn't he? He's had a couple of important touches, and that was a good finish.
Yeah, he's very mobile for a big guy. He can play mid sort of wing and forward, but yeah, it'd be hard to match up out of the square, so I think they've got that right. So he's gone into the middle now.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, a versatile player, and I saw him a couple of weeks ago, and it was really impressive, mainly across half forward, I think, but yeah, it's been good for them this season. Another one that's come through the junior ranks, Chris.
Yeah, I had a stint with Brisbane VFL and playing with Wilson Grange with Marley McGregor.
Yeah. So the bounce again, this goes out of the circles and will be called back. So first we're almost 18 minutes into the second quarter, and Nightcliff have outscored Tiwi by 4-2 in this quarter, just to chip away at that healthy margin that Tiwi had in the first quarter. So see some interesting byplay in the middle of the ground here.
Bedford and Brody.
Bedford and Philo, and Bedford, bit of blood on the knees.
Unlucky.
Has to go off, so just wait for a replacement to come into the centre square before the ball's pulled up again.
So Marlon hasn't been influenced as much as the first quarter with Lewis on him, so that's working. Coach?
So Munkara's come into the middle to take Bedford's place. His hit-out's one down, but it's Dirksen at ground level, picks up. Oh, that's the best hand pass, just a bit casual and missed the target. Rinaldi does well to get it to Philo, who swings it to the outside, and Twycross chips out wide. Now Nightcliff close to the boundary line on the outer side. Langley's done really well there to get rid of Pickett and take the mark, and now chips inboard. Hasn't travelled all that far, but the mark's been paid to Boyd. Boyd, the left footer, of course, swings onto that left boot now, delivers inside forward 50, and Marley McGregor, who's moved forward, takes that mark in the hands out in front. just inside forward 50, and he'll go back for the set shot. So McGregor has really worked his way into the game in this second quarter, becoming an important player.
Yeah, and as a ruckman moving forward, they're hard to defend, especially Marley. He's quite a big unit as well. Very strong overhead.
So McGregor kicks longs going right to the goal line. I think there might be hands on that as it's forced over. 4 are behind, so didn't really get the purchase on it that he was looking for, I don't think, and just fell short. So a behind to Nightcliff, a margin 13 points, and Ashton Hams just chips in short and finds McLean. McLean chips out wide again to Port Jimmy, who balked, and then he's off and running with a couple of bounces. Delivers around the outer side of the ground. Working back was Dirksen, got his hand to the ball to spoil the marking effort, and now working hard at ground level against Tipalura. Ball comes up into the hands of Hunter, but he's pushed over the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary thrown on the outer side of the ground as we tick into the time on period in the second quarter here at Gardens Oval. So McGregor works his way to the front. Wasn't the best of boundary throw-ins, and I think it's going to be called back for another attempt. The ball fell fairly short of the 2 ruckmen. So Monagatti with strength holds his position, gets the hit out down to the advantage of Thompson, who couldn't control it at ground level. Now Lanyon's in there again. Hunter gets a quick kick away, but Port Jimmy's first there. He gets pushed off it. Looks like almost a high tackle there. Play on's the call as now the ball's caught in underneath, and it'll be a ball up again.
Some good tackling by Tiwi in the contest.
So Monagatti wins the hit out, but at ground level. Nightcliff first hands on the ball. Philo gets a hand pass out to Scott. Scott hooks it over the top, and now Nightcliff off and running. Bailey gets it out to Hunter. Hunter kicks long down towards full forward, and he got some unnecessary contact after he got rid of the ball, and so it'll be a relayed free kick down the field, and there's a bit of push and shove in the middle of the ground as a result of that. Hunter looks like he's pulled up pretty sore in the hand or shoulder, and shoulder I think, and a free kick will go downfield to Tristan Sinlipo, and could even be a 50-metre penalty as well to take him right to the goal line.
Very disappointed discipline there. Tiwi's coach wouldn't be happy with that.
So Sinlipo with the free kick. There wasn't the 50-metre penalty as well, but he's well within range as the player on the mark's about 20 metres from goal. Sinlipo's kick on the way, no problem whatsoever, straight through the middle. So Nightcliff have really made some inroads into this Tiwi lead in the second quarter now, and Sinlipo gets his second goal on the board, and Nightcliff's 5th for the quarter.
Credit to Nightcliff, they just cleaned up their possessions and holding possession, working with each other and creating space. Just brought Tiwi undone a little bit, but it's definitely game on.
Certainly is, just a 7-point margin as we tick past 23 minutes in this second quarter, and all of a sudden it's Nightcliff with all the momentum, having kicked 5 of the last 6 goals in the match. So Lee Crossman and his coaching staff would be pretty happy with the response that his team's produced in this second quarter. And Marley McGregor in the ruck has been a big component of that. So McGregor gets his hand to the ball this time, but at ground level Monagatti reaching in, still trying to get his hands on it as no one can really clear it out. Pickett gets a hand pass to it, but only as far as Bailey. Bailey swings it forward, but well read in defence. And Tiwi clear again to the grandstand side of the ground as Moncala there in the 1-1 contest, picking up the ball and trying to run away with it was Rock, but he got caught with the ball and it spilled free, and it'll be a Tiwi free kick on the wing here, coming back to Monagatti. Big Jack Monagatti his first game for the season. Chips one high towards half forward. Ball spills forward in the marking contest. Pickett's first there, but bounces off his hands. Now spills to Thaddeus Port Jimmy, who settles, kicks towards goal. But he's just left that hanging out to the left and through for a behind, so a let off there for Nightcliff.
Had plenty of time there, so his Tiwi boys are going to be talking to him.
Hunter brings the ball back into play, kicks long down towards the centre square. McGregor high from behind, got his hands to it, couldn't hold it at ground level. McGregor's fighting for it again, tries to hand pass forward, but getting in the way there was Braden McLean, and
I think they both were hanging on.
it's a bit of confusion as to whose free kick it was. And I think the umpire pointed the wrong way in the first instance, but it's coming back to McLean now, as he's just forward of the wing and now swings inboard on the left. Chips a pass inside forward 50, but well read in defence by Politis, and he takes the intercept mark. Doesn't have a lot of options to go to, so drives it long along the wing. McGregor in the contest just punched it forward, taken at ground level by Dunn. He hand pass back inboard, comes back to Pickett now. Pickett drills a pass forward, just threads its way through a number of players there. So a strong body contact on the ball, but the ball spills out now, and now a chance for Tiwi at half forward if they can get their hands on the ball, but strong defensive work from Nightcliff. Now spills to the advantage of Bradford again, but his hand pass was chopped off, and Nightcliff cleared the way back into the centre of the ground. Now, that's terrific work by Sim Lupo in between a couple of Tiwi opponents, and he's off and running, has a couple of bounces, but then loses control of the ball as he got tackled, and he'll be penalised for incorrect disposal, and Tiwi just settle things again as the kick comes out to Pickett, who's started wandering forward, but eventually drills a pass into the middle of the ground and finds Blake Puintatameri. Puintatameri goes long down towards full forward. Ball at ground level now, and there's a pack of players over the top of it, and no one can get it out. It'll be a ball up about 25 metres out from the Tiwi goal.
Plenty of Tiwi guys running into their forward 50 then, trying to create something.
From the ruck contest, the ball went out to Hunter, who cleared away as the siren went, but in the end, a pretty good quarter for Nightcliff. Added 5 goals to 2 and just basically halved the margin that was the quarter time margin. So pretty good signs for Nightcliff, and Tiwi just perhaps it's them that need a bit of a rethink about going into the second half. So at half time, it's an 8-point margin to Tiwi. We'll be back with the third quarter shortly.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to Gardens Oval for this exciting round 5 clash between the Tiwi Bombers and Nightcliff. It's an 8-point margin at half-time, and just during the half-time break you might see the sky at the back of the trees, the top of the screen there. There is potential for some weather to roll in, so that will be a factor to contend with as the game progresses in this second half. Of course, we have severe weather rules, and the team in front has the advantage, Chris, sometimes if the lightning gets around, but let's hope that doesn't become the case today.
No, but you'll be hoping to be in the front when the rain comes, because obviously it'll slow the game down.
Yeah, but it's been fantastic so far. A game of 2 different quarters really, as Tiwi dominated the first and Nightcliff the second, but we're underway, and Michael Thompson for Tiwi gets the first clearance down towards half forward. Anthony Munkara gets his hands on the ball now, swings around on the left, kicks down towards the forward pocket, over the top. Trying to take the mark was Marotta, but just couldn't control it, and off hands it's bounced into the behind post and will be a boundary throw in. So a quick start from Tiwi with a forward entry, and
Eddie Vile's done a good job on Marotti. Made a good contest.
Fitzgerald doing the ruck work there. Got his opponent Marotti out of the way, but then Marotta out of the way, but couldn't control the ball, and it's another ball up. Marotta this time by hand, gets it down to Brendan Cantilla again. It's not another goal to Brendan Cantilla, is it?
Off one step. It wasn't even off a step, I don't think.
No, and he was off balance, falling backwards, and geez, just been a master at those finishes around the goals today, and another terrific finish. So what a start for Tiwi in this third quarter as they get on the board again in the opening minute or so, and just stretch that lead out. But from the centre they took the ball forward and then had it camped in their forward line for a couple of stoppages, and just a fantastic running finish. And that's the key sometimes, isn't it, Chris? If you've got a runner.
Yeah, it's hard to stop with momentum, and he always hits the pack hard, I reckon, with full pace, and great work by Trent there. So again, Tiwi clearing out of the centre as the ball comes out to poor Jimmy, chips the ball in towards half forward. Cantilla in there again, this time paid the free kick. The advantage is going to be paid. Oh, that's a floating kick down towards full forward from Bedford, and off hands it's hit the behind post again. Yeah, he had the goals open in front of him then, and just didn't strike the ball well at all. So from the throw, Marotta from behind just works it back into the corridor. Nightcliff set up behind, the hand pass comes back to Vile, who delivers on the outside to Edwards, and Edwards takes the mark at half back for Nightcliff. Goes long around the outer wing, ball gets over the back and into the hands of Monagatti, but there's a free kick at the front of the pack here, and I thought Marley ran into him then, but his own player, but obviously not.
It didn't look like there was anyone else around. Anyway, it's the free kick's going to go to Buchner out on the outer wing for Nightcliff. He pulls himself up a bit sore and goes short to Philo. Goes back to Buchner, and no ground made there, but Buchner now goes longer down towards half forward. The ball slips over the back. That ground level Hams is wrapped up in the tackle, and it'll be a ball up out near the boundary line on the outer side of the ground here at Gardens Oval. Monagatti up high, uncontested, got his hand to the ball, but again it's a scramble at ground level. Monagatti eventually picks it up, gets the hand pass forward, and now the chip across is a dangerous one. Coming in was Scott, spilt the mark and allowed Tiwi to get their hands on the ball and clear it out of defence, but that kick too far out in front and bounces over the boundary line before Blake Purantatameri could get his hands on it, and it'll be a boundary throw in.
Adrian will be disappointed with that. He had that, but
Yeah,
hopefully the next contest he can win. And
he's in perfect position in the corridor there as well. But back in the action, McGregor fell to his knees in the ruck contest. The ball spills out, and a high tackle's paid here to Lanyon, who's been busy in the middle of the ground, particularly since quarter time. Now kicks long, inside forward 50. Oh, the mark spilt down there, and the big fella Pate comes out, gets a hand pass out to Rinaldi. Rinaldi on the left, kicks forward again. This time Dirksen couldn't hold on to the mark, and Tiwi just trying to work it out of defence as Carlson Cantilla kicks backwards to Hams. Hams in short to McLean, and Tiwi just looking to control the ball in the back half now as McLean goes out wide. This one's Kennedy applying the pressure and sees the ball out over the boundary line.
both teams are trying to chip it around, hold possession, till they can create some run Tiwi.
Broadbent in front, Pake over the back, hooks it out, but it's Tiwi with first hands on the ball. They get it out, but it's been deemed a throw by Bedford that time, so the free kick will come back to Politis in the middle of the ground. He elects to kick long into inside forward 50, and good use of the body down there by Buchner, but couldn't hold the mark, and the ball spills over the boundary line for another throw-in. I think he's trying to tell the umpire that he was being held by the jumper, but wasn't seen and not paid, and it's a boundary throw-in again, deep in the forward pocket for Nightcliff. Monagatti in front, wins the hit out down. There's a free kick again here, and it's going Nightcliff's way. So
To Lewis, Rinaldi.
yeah, looks like it's against Kurt Dunn there. He's a bit disappointed, but a chance for Nightcliff to peg back that early goal that Tiwi scored in this third quarter.
Nightcliff's really good behind the ball there. Tiwi couldn't get it out.
So Rinaldi, the set shot from 20 out, not much of an angle. Oh, yeah, he's drifted that left to right. Don't know if he did it on purpose, but the kick was good enough. He's pretty happy with it, and they're celebrating, and so an answering goal in the early stages of this third quarter.
Good important goal. I don't know whether Lewis is renowned for a goal kicker, but very good kick at the goal. Peter Politis there. I think he's had a good, consistent game so far. Another Nightcliff junior.
So ball back in the middle of the ground as McGregor goes into the middle to do the ruck work for Nightcliff, up against Jackson Broadbent. It's going to be a recalled bounce, and been a number of those today, unfortunately. But so comes back and gets thrown up, and we'll try again as Broadbent just uses his body well. Philo by hand gets it to Edwards, who hand passes forward, but again at ground level they're just struggling. A quick kick forward by McGregor, and an aggressive tackle blames the call, and eventually it's going to be a ball up. McGregor this time worked his way to the front, takes it out of the contest and kicks it forward, but it's chopped off at half-back. Dunn thumps it back towards the Tiwi goal, but at ground level, the ball not controlled and forced over the line by Francis Tippenwoody, and it'll be a boundary throw-in again.
Lucky the bounce of the footy was out Francis. If he got a clean bounce, I know whether Politis would have kept up with him.
So McGregor just gets a toe poke forward. Ball knocked out of Kennedy's hands as Pickett gets the hand pass forward to the advantage of Bedford, but he got stopped in his tracks by Edwards, and again the boundary throwing.
Just around the contest, it's Nightcliff, Tiwi numbers each side. Nightcliff load up on the Tiwi side.
Good hands by Pickett to Cantilla. King Cantilla's kick forward. But there's a Tiwi free kick here. It's going to Tipperwoody. Francis Tipperwoody plays on now, kicks long towards the top of the goal square. Good work in defence from Fitzgerald for Nightcliff, taking that intercept mark. He's looking for Philo in the pocket, but the ball's just a bit too far out in front of him and spills over the boundary line for another throw-in. So Nightcliff first hands on the ball from that boundary throw-in. Ball caught in underneath, and it's just a bit of a wrestle at the moment. Not much free flow of the ball. He's got another ball up, and Peake in front this time gets it down to his feet, and again no one can get away with a clean possession as Lanyon's tackled to the ground. So this time it's forced out wider. Scott gets the hand pass out, and always run up the boundary line there. And the boundary umpire right on the spot, so just in the kicking motion, swung out over the line, and it'll be another boundary throw-in. So just over 11 minutes gone in this third quarter. A goal apiece so far. It's the game's stagnated a bit in this third quarter as Philo, when the ball comes out, and that kick will go close to and over the boundary line. So Pickett taking the free kick, wastes no time, gets it inboard to Kim Cantilla. He chips over the top. He's got a player in between three. It's Francis Tipperwoody. He's just bobbled out and found himself in space, and then his kicks let him down, but it's still in the play, and Tipperwoody's followed up himself and now scoops the ball up, gets tackled with it, trying to get it out here as eventually he gets penalised, but that was an amazing piece of play as he just bounced his way around three Nightcliff defenders and then followed up. But the short kick again, they've just missed the target, Nightcliff, and put themselves under pressure. The hand pass comes out to Wally. Wally kicks the ball down towards full forward, and doing battle down there is Anthony Munkara as the ball's rushed through from behind, and Nightcliff bring it back into play quickly to the outer side of the ground. Monagatti at ground level is going to be first there as they just scramble to get it forward, and now again the ball caught in underneath, and there'll be a ball up once again.
Definitely scrappy footy at the moment. The pressure's on both teams around the contest.
So neither ruckman can get to the ball then as it was thrown in the air, and there's a kicking in danger free kick going to be paid here, I think, and it's going to go Nightcliff's way to Brody Philo. Philo goes the short option and finds Norman. Jack Norman now swings inboard, kicks long down to the front edge of the square. Kennedy got his hands to the ball, couldn't take the mark. Send Lippo at ground level, but gets some help. Lanyon looks like he got one there. Might have ducked the head a bit, but he'll take the free kick. He's got a bit of strapping hanging off his head there as he gives it back to Philo, who slipped in a little bit of mud as the kick goes down forward. It's bobbled around and it's loose at the back of the pack. Tiwi under plenty of pressure down there, but Kurt Dunn, cool in the crisis, just controlled the ball under pressure and worked it over the goal line for a rush behind. Ashton Hams, as the umpire does, will bring the ball back into play for Tiwi, directing some traffic. He's got a short option there on the hooker, but ignores that and goes longer instead to the outer side of the ground as There's another free kick here. It's going Nightcliff's way again. So the long kick in to the top of the goal square. There's a snapshot from Singlipo. It's smothered off his boot, and Kim Cantilla gets it by hand on the outside. And Tiwi trying to run the ball out of defence as Tipalura swings it out wide again. This time to Port Jimmy, who changes his mind and ducks back into the centre corridor. The pass is good to Kim Cantilla. He takes the mark and he's off and running. Kicks long now, but there's big from nowhere. It was taken by Justin Purantatameri. He started celebrating, and now he's played on and he's put Tipalura in all sorts of pressure there. And the free kick's been paid, and now Nightcliff looking to take the advantage through Politis, who runs out of defence and kicks along the wing. His kick gets over the back of the pack, and at ground level, William Mankara in a 1-2 effort gave and then tried to receive back, but he's won himself a free kick for being held without the ball. And that weather starting to come in, Chris, is you see some movement in the crowd.
Yeah, they should have kicked that goal, Tiwi. Would have been handy in this, now the weather's come.
And that kick from Mankara just floats over the boundary line, so out of bounds on the full, and Politis will take the free kick just backward of the wing for Nightcliff. Kicks long down towards half forward. The ball slips over the back, well read by Carlson Cantilla, and finds Kim Cantilla in the middle of the ground, takes the mark and is off and running. Kicks high inside forward 50, punched away and over the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw in to restart inside the forward 50 for Tiwi.
Kyle Fitzgerald's been really good at down back for Nightcliff this quarter. Saved a couple of goals and punched that ball long and wide.
So you can see the rain on the screen there as the ball's thrown in, and Fitzgerald again doing the ruck work this time. Gave it off by hand to Boyd. Boyd to Scott. Scott has a runner out wide in Norman. The ball's just out in front of him. He goes to ground and forces the ball to be trapped in underneath, and it'll be the ball up again. So McGregor wins the hit out down to Boyd, across to Fire.
Good tackle.
Good tackle. Sees the ball spill free. Play on's the call was. The ball spills back in again, and now Nightcliff just forcing it forward. It's out into some space at half forward as Singlipo ran onto it, but then got worried out of it, and good defensive work. Sees the ball cleared away around the grandstand wing. But again, there's...
Out of bounds or downfield? Out of bounds, must have.
Yeah, just off hands and over the boundary line. Oh, out of bounds before he kicked it,
yeah,
obviously. So the ball going back is... Yeah, Blake Purantatameri just stepped over the line, and it'll be another boundary throw in. It's the ball brought straight down. McGregor does really well, and followed up from the ruck contest. His kick goes across the corridor where it couldn't be picked up by Buchner, but still working at ground level. It's picked up by Nyhouse, who chips the ball back in towards the goal square. Play on's the call as the ball spills out and brought away by Pickett to the near side of the ground, and just a little too high for Bedford there. And
not a bad outcome.
Yeah, bounces over the boundary line for another stoppage. But they're getting pretty wet here at Gardens Oval at the moment. So from the throw, McGregor wins it down to Bailey Boyd, who the ball was forced out, and then the tackle was held, so he'll take the free kick for being held too long there, and now drills a pass inside 50, but Tiwi are lined up behind the ball there, and Braden McLean chops that one off pretty easily. There'll be a 50-metre penalty for being
in the 5 metre zone.
Yep.
Bit of attempt running out.
So called to play on now, chips out wide as Hams did pretty well to control that over the top. Now chips inboard, and he finds William Munkara, indicating that he intends to go long here. Does just that. Kicks long to the top of the goal square. Just forced to the ground, and Nightcliff working at ground level. Politis gets a hack kick out of defence, but they're under pressure still as Kim Cantilla comes in, picks up nicely now, chips a pass inside forward 50, the ball spills over the back. Here's a chance for Tiwi at ground level. Thaddeus Port Jimmy swings onto the left foot, kicks towards goal, but Dirksen had worked all the way back, and he takes the intercept mark in the goal square, and will relieve for Nightcliff as we tick into time on in this third quarter, one which has produced only a goal apiece in a real arm wrestle, and Dirksen finds Scott on the outer side of the ground. Scott drives the ball around that outer wing. Ball slips off hands over the back. Brody Filo's going to be first there, but the siren beats them all. So a really short quarter that time. It's in fact, I think the siren's going for the weather. There must be some lightning close by, so we've got the siren continuing to go.
So that's 30 minutes.
Yeah,
30 minutes. Hopefully plays over.
Has to get back on. So it's close to the end of the third quarter here, as the game stops because of the weather. And at the moment, it's Tiwi with an 8-point lead. So we'll probably keep the vision on the screen, but we'll just have a break, and we'll be back to you when we get some news of what's going to happen for resumption of the game.
White shot? Okay. So I pick orange shot. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bye. That's 500 last quarter. Okay, yeah. Okay, no worries. No worries. All right.
Des. Sorry, Rocky, don't tell everyone his heads are all. You can just pipe down a little bit. He's a good bloke, Des. Rocky, Joel, Brett. Des is a good bloke. I don't care what you guys say.
Top bloke. How was Spartans training this week? Very good. Solid.
Quite good when you get not around. That's great.
We're talking about how long to go, Lee? I reckon
Hello, Mom.
You going Tiwi? Okay, mate? You going Tiwi?
Let's go to the place， 你再回忆我的
Conflict of interest. Alpha's coming. Very confident. Thanks, Mel. Give me a warning, please.
Well, welcome back to Gardens Oval. Those of you who have stayed tuned, the lightning has passed and we're back on the field ready to recommence. So you may have seen the message that was on the screen that says that play will recommence where it stopped and from the time that it recommenced. So we're just about to start again. We'll have a little bit of time before the three-quarter time break as there's a ball up on the outer side of the ground and the margin is 8 points. Montagetti wins their hit out. Of course, the conditions are a little bit different now to what they were previously, with a fair bit of rain during the break as well, as the ball squirts out over the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary throw in on the outer side of the ground. So the players have had a break and a chance to warm up, and we're back in the action again. Montagetti wins a hit out down, and now it's Tiwi from defence with a hack kick out around the wing. Ball caught in underneath here as it's Cantilla looking to take the free kick, but it's going to be a ball up. So yeah, the ground pretty wet right now as Montagetti wins that hit out again. Ball on the outside there as Dunn tries to get the hand pass forward, but didn't get a fist to it, so it's a Nightcliff free kick as the siren goes to end the third quarter. So just about a minute or so of play there before time stopped again. So we will have another stoppage for the three-quarter time break and be back for the final quarter. It's Tiwi leading by 8 points, which was the margin that they had at half-time, and just one goal, one to each side in that quarter. We'll be back soon with the final quarter.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Well, welcome back to Gardens Oval. We're about to commence the final quarter of this game between Tiwi Bombers and Nightcliff Tigers after a bit of stop-start. Chris, not much action in that last minute or so of the third quarter, but the game is set up for a really interesting finish.
Yeah, it's hard as coaches. You've got to keep the boys warm and mentally into it, so it'll be whoever can stay focused for the last quarter.
So Big Pake back in the centre of the ground doing the ruck work for Nightcliff as the clearance comes down towards half forward. Oh, beautifully scooped up off the ground by Fowler over to Edwards. Edwards kicks inside forward 50, but just over the top you can see that the ball's a bit slippery now as there's a toe poke off the ground, and it was Kennedy who tried to have a soccer shot at goal, but it's bounced into the behind post, and it'll be a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Nightcliff. So Nightcliff looking to make up that 8-point deficit as quickly as they can, you would think, as the ball spills free. Comes to Philo now. He swings onto the right boot, kicks high down towards goal. Working back was Carlson Cantilla with the fist and punched it through for a behind. And Ashton Hams goes back, picks up the ball, and will bring it back into play, and that narrows the margin to 7 points. As Hams elects to go short to the outer side of the ground and finds Hooker. Hooker goes short again on the outer side, and now the kick comes inboard into the centre corridor where Thompson takes a mark in some space, and he chips it out wide again to Hams. Hams looking to go longer down the grandstand side this time. Carlson Cantilla works his way to the front and takes a nice mark in front of Edwards. And Cantilla now just looking further afield, decides to go short to Michael Thompson. And Nightcliff players working back as Thompson plays on now, kicks long down towards half forward. Ball hits the ground at the front of the pack as there's some high contact made. In fact, it was a free kick for holding the ball. It was Tiwi again with a shot at goal. It's Brendan Cantilla once again, and he's celebrating to the crowd, and just again off a step or two in the right place at the right time. And unbelievably, Brendan Cantilla has kicked his 6th goal for the game.
Yeah, he's been really good, just always at the right spot, and when the ball falls off the contest, Nightcliff, whoever's playing on him, will really need to shut him down and block his run before he gets to the contest.
Yeah, he's been amazing. Kicked 3 goals in the first quarter, of course, and has kicked 1 in every quarter since. And the first goal of the final quarter goes to Tiwi, and a handy one that stretches that margin out to 13 points. The conditions obviously a bit more difficult, a bit more slippery, and yeah, I'm not sure that we've seen the end of the weather, but hopefully we'll get through the final quarter unscathed as the ball comes to ground. Monagatti has done a power work, picks up, and his kick is just touched on the way through and floats over the boundary line and will be a boundary throw in.
I would have thought that's either a mark or out of the full.
Yeah, it might have been touched off the boot, I think. So the boundary throw in right in front of the cameras here at Gardens Oval as the ball spills out the back. Rinaldi hooks the hand pass over the top. Peris is there at ground level, and Edwards hooks the hand pass forward, but Philo lays the tackle. Play on's the call as Mankara looking for a high tackle in there, but not paid, and it'll be a ball up once again.
Very hard now, slippery conditions. Tackling.
So Monagatti slides off his fist to Thompson. Thompson with a quick kick forward, and the mark taken at half back by Hunter for Nightcliff. And he kicks in short to Peris. Peris has a runner, ignores that, and now chips out wide, but just gets over the top of Scott out there and tidied up, and a chance for poor Jimmy, but he's run over the boundary line as he tried to get the hand pass back inboard, and it'll be a throw in again. Just I think it might be a bit more of this for the rest of the game. Pretty hard to break open and get the ball moving, but it's clogged inside as the ball spills free now and out to Philo. Philo with a bit of run and kicks long inside forward 50, but good work by Carlson Cantilla at the back as Tiwi tried to work it away, but it's hacked off the ground. Harms gets a fist to the ball to the advantage of Kim Cantilla. He can't control the ball, but eventually gets a toe poke forward, and they've worked the ball back to the centre of the ground where Monagatti has tackled and the ball slips free. There's plenty of yellow jumpers around the ball if they can get their hands on it. Eventually it comes back to Pake. Pake chips in short, and now Houghty rocks out in some space, gets a hand pass forward to Boyd. Boyd kicks long towards goal. The kick looks pretty good. It's going all the way, and the mark's been taken down there by Dirksen, isn't it? It's right on the goal line. It is Zach Dirksen who's taken that mark. He'll be around on a difficult angle, but very close to the goal. And players generally are pretty good at these days. Looks like he's shaping to... He's a bit confused what he's going to do. Left or right? He goes on the left, and I think he's done pretty well with it. He has. He's put it through. So an answering goal for Nightcliff, and again that was a pretty good build-up. They had numbers around the ball, and Dirksen could have took a good mark on the goal line. Yeah,
good mark, and Brody just kept twice. I think he got the ball forward from half back, and then he just kicked it in forward to create chaos. And once again, Rock's been in amongst it. Give a handball instead of being selfish and trying to kick over the guy opposition.
Yeah, and Boyd Bailey's been a pretty good player today, and he was involved in that as well with the long kick in. So we really have a contest on our hands again. 7 points the margin, 6.5 minutes into the final quarter, as after the delay in proceedings, but no harm done, and we're right back in the thick of it as this time it's a clearance again down to half forward. The long kick goes in towards the top of the goal square once again. Coming across the front, that's a terrific mark by Carlson Cantilla again. He's had a few important touches already in this last quarter down in defence for Tiwi. He elects to go straight up the middle of the ground. The kick's good and finds Michael Thompson. Thompson looking to play on quickly, chips it wide to McLean. McLean on the left, kicks long down the outer wing where the ball slips over the back. Munkara comes in, wheels around on the right boot and kicks forward, but well read in defence, and that's Rock once again who's worked back this time and doing the defensive work. He's called to play on now, gets around the player on the mark and eventually goes long down towards half forward as Nyhouse reaching over the top helps the ball go forward. And McGregor gets in, the hand pass comes out to Norman. His kick just scrubs along the ground, and Nyhouse is in there again, but can't get a clean hand pass to a teammate, and the ball's wrapped up on the ground at centre half forward for Nightcliff. So McGregor doing the ruck work, but it's Tiwi bringing it away from half back. With a couple of bounces, the long kick comes down to half forward, pretty open forward line for Tiwi, but this time in defence. Looks like Ronaldo's been, oh no, that's Caleb
Walker.
Yeah, he did the job on Cantilla that time. They've worked it to the outer side of the ground as the sweeping hand pass goes forward, and Scott in some space has a bounce out there. He's done pretty well, and now kicks long around that outer side. Just off hands, the ball slips over the back as Harms went to his knees, but won himself a free kick for being pushed in the back. He wastes no time kicking to the outer side of the ground. It's gone close to the boundary line, but it stayed in play, and big Broadbent takes the mark in front of the scoreboard on the outer side. Broadbent again kicks long along the line, close to the boundary line. Mark not taken, the ball slips forward, and a kick over the shoulder. Nightcliff with numbers there, couldn't take the mark. The ball comes out now and kicked forward by Twycross, but Nightcliff have worked it around the outer side, and Rinaldi takes the mark just forward of the wing on the outer side of the ground. Rinaldi now Goes long inside forward 50. Cantilla again over the back, got his hands to the ball, worked it close to the boundary line, but in close, Nyhouse gets a kick that's chopped off by Hams. Hams kicks high out towards half back, and Big Broadbent is first there and takes a mark on the chest. He's elected to chip inboard to McLean. McLean back into the goal square to Hams, and he's got players on the outside. Kurt Dunn is first there, and he takes the mark. He's off and running, taps it on the ground and chips it over the top, looking for Thompson. Oh, he's done pretty well there to take that, running with the flight of the ball, and now plays on, hand passes over the top to Port Jimmy. Port Jimmy under plenty of pressure from Rock, but gets around him and now chips the ball back inboard into the centre of the ground. A great one-handed mark taken over the top of his head by Blake Purantatameri. He plays on quickly to the outer side of the ground where Fitzgerald gets his hand to the ball but gets worried out of it by Wally. Wally gets it over the top to Brendan Cantilla again. Brendan Cantilla with a shot at goal, and he's on the scoreboard again. He's just in the right place every time at the right time. Amazing performance.
Definitely got his eye in, but Tiwi, credit to them, took a couple of courageous marks, just used the ball really well for the conditions. And Nightcliff were doing that on the other side, but just turned it over, and then Tiwi, switched it, created space, and got a great goal. He's definitely on fire.
Yeah, it's a remarkable performance in what the conditions are now, but to have 7 out of their 11 goals is a pretty impressive performance from a small forward. So again, Tiwi stretch that margin and give themselves a bit of a breather as McGregor back in the centre doing the ruck work, tries to force it forward, and eventually coming in off the wing was Scott, picks it up and now kicks it high inside forward 50. Ball mark not taken down there, a kick off the ground towards goal by Buchner, but just offline and through for a behind, so that makes the margin an even 2 goals as we tick over 11.5 minutes in this final quarter. Ashton Hams to bring the ball back in. That's a short option. Let's pick it. And pick it out in front of Philo, takes the mark comfortably on his chest, and now looking grandstand side, kicks along the wing, but the ball just floats back into the hands of Vile, who takes the mark, and I think there'll be a 50-metre penalty for having it. No, it won't. I thought I was confused by the umpire's call there. The chip over the top is good. Dirksen spills the mark, however, but recovers to get the hand pass to Philo, who takes the ball and kicks in one motion, but well read in defence, and Hams takes that intercept mark. He's looking into the centre corridor again and finds his ruckman in Broadbent. He's being directed to go long, and he does that forward of centre, and the mark taken here by Thompson again. Thompson delivers down towards half forward, so the ball just knocked away.
Just using the ball real well with Tiwi, composed, taking their time, waiting for something to open up.
So it's a boundary throw in between wing and half forward for Tiwi as McGregor works his way to the front, gets it down to Philo. Philo throws it on the boot in towards the centre square. Terrific work there again by Sing Lippo, but he had a bounce and then got run down. That was fantastic defensive running, and Tiwi work it to the outer side of the ground where Thompson, who's been busy all day, takes another mark, chips in, just slipping out there and giving his opponent a chance was Kim Cantilla as the Nightcliff players come in now, and Thompson lays the tackle, and it'll be a ball up once again. So Monaghetti and McGregor to do the ruck work. Monaghetti gets his hand to the ball, and bursting through the pack was Kirk Cantilla, but he had it knocked out of his hand. It was brought up by Blake Purantatameri. He gets caught with the ball, and now Politis picks it up and runs away, kicks and over the top. Lanyon gets the hand pass to Bailey. Bailey kicks long down towards half forward where Nyhouse is in the marking contest, but he's outworked by Hams, who gets the hand pass over the top, and again a run-down tackle, and this time Timmy caught with the ball, and it's Nighthouse who takes the free kick, moves it quickly. There's plenty of Tiwi defenders back there as the ball slips over the back. Oh, that's not the best kick from Hooker, but bounces to Hams, who kicks around the boundary line, and he finds Braden McLean in a bit of space on the half-back flank on the outer side of the ground. McLean chips over the top, looking here for Monagatti, who takes a nice mark out the back. And again, Tiwi just happy to slow things down and try to control the ball. But this time, punch back forward as the ball spills to the ground. And picking up is Politis. He runs away from that pack of players, runs to 50, kicks long towards goal. It's going to go all the way. I think it is going all the way through. And again, another twist in this game is it's been goal for goal for the last 2 quarters, really. And Peter Politis this time, just a terrific finish from the 50-metre line.
So he's been playing half-back, just body lined the ball then, and he is a nice kick on the run.
Yeah, so it just closes that margin to 1 straight kick as we approach 16 minutes, and game could go either way, but it has literally been goal for goal since half-time.
Very important centre clearance here, both teams.
Yeah, so it's Tiwi have gone with Monagatti in the middle, and Nightcliff have gone with Big Pake back in the ruck. He's been in and out of there, but he wins the hit out down to Dirksen. So Nightcliff with the clearance, and Dirksen kicks long out into space on the outer side of the ground. Running onto it out there is Nighthouse. Nighthouse kicks inside forward 50. Oh, the mark spilt there, and Hams picks up and gets his kick just before the pressure came and kicks long outside defensive 50. Rinaldi gets a hand to the ball, and again it's a fierce contest at ground level, and the ball's forced over the boundary line for another throw-in.
Been a good contest from Tiwi back line, trying to have the pressure on him this quarter.
They have, and they've done pretty well. Carson Cantilla, the main man back there, but Hams getting plenty of the footy as well, as from that boundary throw-in. No real winner, but picked up by Pickett, and he drives it long down towards half forward for Tiwi. Politis going back with the flight of the ball, but picked up down here by Wally. Wally kicks long towards goal. It looks like it's going to float all the way through. It is. Brendan Cantilla was on the goal line, just put enough pressure on the Nightcliff defenders, and again it's Malachi Wally who scores the goal for Tiwi and continues that goal for goal trend, and Tiwi just edge out by a couple of goals once again.
Just in that contest, Tiwi keeping their feet and a bit of composure there. Definitely game on.
It certainly is.
Unlucky Nightcliff, because they've had it in their forward line the last 3 to 4 minutes. Just haven't converted.
Yeah, and good defence by Tiwi, of course, but it's a 2-goal margin now as we tick towards 18 minutes, and Nightcliff desperate to get their hands on the ball first from this centre clearance as the ball's thrown in the air. Big Monagatti gets over the top, out to the advantage of Thompson, who works the ball in front of him. He's tackled with the ball on the ground, and Monagatti comes in to help now. He gets tackled with the ball, just squirts a kick forward, and the ball spills to the favour of Philo. Philo on the left, out in front. Oh, the ball just gets over the top, and Kurt Dunn working back just slides over the boundary line, and it'll be a throw-in in the left forward pocket for Nightcliff. But they got their hands on the ball from that centre clearance and worked it forward, so they've given themselves an opportunity here.
Just shows how heavy it must be on feet, because usually Brody would have pinged that through.
So Monagatti gets a fist to the ball, and Pickett clears away for Tiwi round to the grandstand side of the ground. The ball keeps rolling over the back of the pack and over the boundary line for another boundary throw-in. Tiwi will be pretty happy with that outcome as they get to reset further up the field. You can see, as you said before, Chris, all the yellow jumpers on the defensive side and the Tiwi jumpers on their defensive side. So both sides happy to play it that way as Big Pake tries to get it back. But Thompson's read it beautifully, running through, picks up and scoops the ball up, gets the hand pass forward. Just fumbled. A strong contest, and the hand pass comes out wide, and Nightcliff just willing the ball forward through the hands, and they eventually get it out wide to Edwards. Edwards delivers inside forward 50, but just overcooked it, gets over the back, and the intercept mark is taken, and Tiwi just a chance to settle once again as the ball goes back to Hooker deep in the back pocket. Hooker eventually decides to come grandstand side. We're fisted over the boundary line by Dirksen, and it'll be another boundary throw in. Looked like a bit of lightning in the background, Chris, there.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it, but
they need a goal here, Nightcliff.
they certainly do. As we've ticked into time on in this final quarter, they have to be the next to score, and then need to score again after that. As at ground level, Norman just couldn't get his boot to the ball, and Tiwi bring it away again, straight up the middle of the ground, where Malachi Wally and Fitzgerald are in an intriguing one-on-one contest, and this time it's Fitzgerald who comes out on top with the free kick, a great tackle, and he looks as to switch laterally, and Nightcliff looking to build from the back as the kick comes over the top, but again misdirected, and Anthony Mankara chips in to take that intercept mark. He goes the short option and finds Thaddeus Port Jimmy in the corridor. He's looking to play on with the hands back to Mankara. His kick slides off the side of the boot out towards the boundary line. It props out there, and a strong tackle, and that the Tiwi players calling for a holding the ball free kick, but not seen that way. So it's a ball up inside forward 50 for Tiwi, as at ground level it's picked up by Mankara. His kick goes right into the goal square where Fitzgerald claims the mark, and it is paid. It was bobbled, but now he brings the ball grandstand side, looking to move the ball quickly, but Tiwi are set up behind the ball.
He's got numbers everywhere, attacking.
And spills out to Thaddeus Port Jimmy, who drills a pass inside forward 50 again. Another interesting contest there as the ball spills to the ground. It's picked up and kicked across the face of goal by John Tipalura, and all the way across and out of bounds on the full. But while all that's happening, the clock keeps ticking, and it's up to 22 minutes now as the ball's retrieved from over the fence, and Nightcliff looking to build from the back half to get a couple of scores on the board. The long kick comes in at ground level. Braden McLean picks up and then sweeps the ball backwards through the hands. They get it back to Kurt Dunn. Dunn's kick falls into the hands of Monaghetti, who's worked pretty hard all day and gets a hand pass out, but now it spills to Philo, who kicks long inside forward 50. A good contest by Buchner at half forward, and the hand pass comes over the top. Oh, just having a look, and then caught with the ball was Brett Kennedy, and really good performance, good effort there from Kurt Dunn just to lay that tackle and steady things up. And now chips out wide again, and to Hooker, swings around on the left boot, kicks long down the wing, a big leap from behind by Port Jimmy, couldn't get to the ball. Paulides in there at ground level, slides onto it, gets the hand pass out, but spills in favour of Thompson, who works the ball forward himself. But again, the ball pretty slippery in there as Lanyon gets a hand pass out, and Kurt Cantilla happy to wrap up Paulides in the tackle, and will be a
Just
ball up at half forward.
Impressed with Tiwi bodyline the ball and get numbers around the contest. Been really good today.
So Kurt Cantilla reads it beautifully off the pack, kicks long towards goal. It's swinging away and bangs into the behind post on the full. So
They would have been hoping for a point there.
yeah, that's right. It would have been a seal, but yeah, 23 and a half minutes gone. It's pretty hard road ahead for Nightcliff from here, you would think, as Dirksen goes back to take the free kick. Clearly, too, we've got plenty of players behind the ball, and he hasn't got much to go to, so bangs it long and hopes as coming out and chopping it off is Marotta for Tiwi, and his teammates tell him just to slow things down and take your time and then bang it in long, and that's what he intends to do. Kicks it long back inside forward 50, and again it's well read and chopped off by Dirksen, who clears to the near side this time, but out in front of Twycross, he just couldn't control the ball and keep it in, so it'll be a boundary throw in. See Patrick Bowden down there just calling the shots. He'll be pretty happy with the state of the game right now, I would think. So the boundary throw in. Marley McGregor takes it out the back and gets a kick forward as Dirksen receives the hand pass and kicks out wide. On the bounce, Edwards runs onto it now, running through half forward, kicks long from just outside 50 as the siren goes to end the game. And Nick Hooker works his way back, takes that mark, and it's been a really entertaining game, a terrific performance from both sides really, but Tiwi really impressive today and have held on to win by 2 goals, Chris.
Yeah, been really impressive. Brendan Gatella, 7 goals, is that right?
Yeah.
7 goals also. I thought Scott Bedford, Braden McLean have been good for Tiwi, and Nightcliff, I thought Holdy Rock played well, McGregor, Ty Cross as well. In the conditions, been really good, and Tiwi we were very happy with that. They go to second on the ladder.
Yeah, well, they came into the game second on the ladder. They retain that and go to a 4-1 win-loss record on the year. So certainly a lot different start to the season than they've had for quite some time now. And gee, it's exciting times for all the Tiwi fans and the people back home on the Tiwi Islands. But that's it from us today. A fantastic game of football, a great win by Tiwi, and they just keep rolling on. We'll see you next time.